Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I'm going to show you how I plan for our EV road trips with our family. Let's get into it. So my family is about to take a road trip down to Walt Disney World and the Kennedy Space Center. And I just wanted to kind of share what I think about when I plan the road trip. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be a subsequent video where my wife shares what she thinks about when we plan our EV road trip. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you how I use PlugShare to plan my road trips. Now, when I do different kinds of road trips, I use different tools. When I'm traveling with my family, I use PlugShare because I can pick chargers where I want them to be and where the locations are. That way, everything's on my terms. Now, I would say this is like a more medium to advanced level of planning, as you really need to know how your car works. That way you can plan distances that are appropriate based on your vehicle and your driving style. If you want an easier way to do this, a better route planner is a really great tool that I use when I am trying to go a little bit quicker across the country, because that'll tell me what state of charge I'm going to arrive at and how much I need to charge up to at the minimum. That way I can maximize. For a family road trip, I acknowledge that we're probably going to be at a stop longer than I'd like to normally, so I'll probably have enough charge at every stop anyways, just because of going to the bathroom, eating food, walking the dog, although we're not taking the dog to Disney World. So there's that. And then lastly, sometimes if the planning software on your car is fine, then you could use that as well. For example, Tesla has pretty good software. There's been some little things here and there lately with the software not working optimally, but they're a really good example. The ID4 software is okay. It's okay. I'd say a little conservative, but it works. But Rivian is okay, I think. There are companies that do it really well. I think the vehicles that have the Google built in, those work really well, like Polestar and all the Chevy vehicles coming out soon. So if you want to do that, that's fine as well. But if you want to have control, you want to go somewhere that has stops that's going to be good for your family, there's going to be food options, there's going to be recreational options, then I think that this is probably going to be the best way to plan your trip. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and open up PlugShare and show you all how I use that. Normally I would just use my phone, but for this purposes my phone is recording, so I am going to use my computer to show you all how I would plan out a road trip. All right, everybody, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and show you all how to use PlugShare. Again, this is online, but it's basically the same. So I have everything here. I have the ID4 set up here, and I'm going to click Plan a New Trip. Do my location here at the Kennedy Space Center. There it is. And it shows me all of the available chargers along the route. And it's showing me basically the max chargers for the range. So the first one I'm going to pick is my favorite one here in Richmond at the Super Center, and I just click Add to Trip. And it added it to the trip, and now it's showing me 155 miles to that next stop. Then it gives me a little bit more, and I look down here, and we're gonna stop at this new spot, sorry about that, in Circle K in Wilson. So add that to the trip. So again, now it's showing 144 miles from that Walmart to there. And I like to pick about 2 hours from one charging stop to the next. I can't stand to drive any longer than 2 hours. So now I'm gonna keep looking down here, and the next one's in Florence. I wanted to stop at this site right here. It's a new Mercedes-Benz charging, but it was online and now it's offline. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So we had to kind of adjust our plan a little bit. But we're gonna stop here at this Walmart Supercenter, and it does have a lower PlugShare score than I would like, but it's kind of all we got. And if you wanted to, I guess I should have been showing you all this. Here on the left, you can scroll down, look at people's comments. This person says it's working fine. They're in 94, so maybe it's okay. And that was yesterday. So I'll click add to trip. And again, it's still showing I've got 453 miles to go. Just keep scrolling down here. So we're actually going to have our little layover in Savannah, but we're not going to do that. We can't actually go to this station because this is a Rivian Adventure Network, so I wish that wouldn't show up for my vehicle. But we do have to stop here in Walterboro, which is going to be not as long of a drive, which is fine. And then that allows us to skip down here. And I am actually going to check out this Daydream Avenue parking. It's a Florida Power and Light FPL Evolution site, which looks pretty cool. So I wanted to try that out and do an EV charging site review. So I'm going to add that to the trip. And now we've got 170 miles and we can make it to the Kennedy Space Center, but I don't want to arrive there on empty. So we're probably going to stop here at this Walmart in Ormond Beach, Florida, just to charge up. That way we're good to go when we get to Kennedy Space Center, and we can just go straight to our resort when we're done. So click add to trip. And as you can see, that was pretty easy and has all the locations saved here, which is really nice. Now what's cool is when you save this, I'm almost positive that this will also show up on your phone. So if you like to plan on your computer and then do things on the phone, that's absolutely fine if you want to do that. So basically that's how we use the PlugShare system. Hopefully that was a little bit helpful. Now I'm going to actually probably a little bit later in my day, because I do have to go catch something real quick. I'm going to go over kind of why I like this and why I choose to do this. Okay, everybody, so that is how I like to plan trips. I'm actually going to, on the side right here, I'm just going to put a little video of me doing it on my phone so you can see what it's like. Sometimes you have to click the see more button to see more locations. The problem is if you don't know they're there, then you wouldn't know that you should look there. So maybe just click see more just in case to see what the options are. I know I wanted a Circle K location in Wilson. It wasn't showing. I clicked show all and then it popped up. So wanted to throw that there just for a little bit extra. So feel free to rewind and watch that, or if you can do both at the same time, that's fine. Next, I wanted to talk about why I prefer PlugShare for planning for my family road trips. I kind of talked about it a little bit, but you can pick the stations and the distances. So if you know, like for the first leg, everybody's going to be asleep, you also know you're going to have more range, you can do a further distance. We'd have to stretch it a little bit further than I'd like. That's why I'm doing an earlier stop in Richmond. We probably could make it to the next one in Emporia or maybe even Rocky Mount, but my wife does not like risking things, so we're going to go to Richmond and then we'll go to that Wilson charging site next. You can see recent check-ins for the site, which is always good. PlugShare, from my observance, and I use Chargeway, and I do like Chargeway, but more people use PlugShare, so you're going to get more up-to-date information from people who have recently been at that charger. So that's always good when you're going through. And of course, there's the plug score. Beware of the plug score, because not everybody knows how to put things in properly, because if you go and you get a charge, well, then you have to put you charge successful. But to me, if I go and I'm at a state of charge where I'm expecting to get 190 kilowatts and I get 35, I know something's wrong. So I'll actually mark the equipment as broken. I'm probably not supposed to, but I don't want people to go there and think that it's a perfect site, because you can go to a 10 and every charge would be derated. So just beware of that. And lastly, you can send the directions to major navigation apps and even copy the address. I showed that in my video, where you can send it to Waze, Google Maps, or Apple Maps. I like all those features. So there's that. I think I may have talked about some of that earlier, but just to kind of reinforce those things. Now, what are some downsides to planning this way? Well, first off, it doesn't predict your state of charge upon arrival, and it doesn't know your current state of charge, and there's no way to really do that. So for people who aren't really comfortable with all the nuance of charging and maybe not having to charge as high as you'd think, like going to 80%, that could cause a little bit of a challenge. Next, there is no built-in navigation. PlugShare is purely just basically a review site, if you will. that has a really nice trip planner, but the trip planner is not a navigation tool. That's why you have to go in after each stop and then send it to whatever navigation tool you would like to do. I am not a million, because I'm about to get an Equinox EV. I'm not a million% sure how the using the trip planner will work on just the Google system, not with the phone. So I don't know if you'll be able to share it to Waze within there, or I'm not sure how to work. So I would definitely do something about that when I get the Equinox EV. Right now I just use Apple CarPlay and it works very easily. And lastly, well, I've already talked about this, but the flawed rating system, you know, I just spoke about that. Just be aware of that, and that the number might not represent the actual quality of a station. So once I have put all this stuff together, all the chargers I want to go to, what I do is I send it over to my wife. Because for me, when I go on a road trip by myself, I just like to wing it. You know, I'll actually use a better route planner, like I told you all, and I'll go somewhere and then I'll just figure stuff out, and I'll eat what's there. Or if I want to go somewhere specific, I'll route to it after I charge, or I'll walk there. There's a whole bunch of different things that I will do. But for my wife, she likes to know where we're going. She'll look around the area, find things to do. If there's something immediately by the charger, find somewhere to eat, whatever it could be, or just make it a planned like time. Hey, let's go, we'll play while we're charging, or walk the dog. So that's what I like to do. We're two very different people, and that's why you're gonna see a whole different video when she gives her perspective of how to plan a family EV road trip. And then the last thing, and I think this is really important because this was important for me, is make sure you check all your charging sites and make sure that they're working the day before. I actually, it was like a week out, I looked and I noticed that the Mercedes-Benz charging sites that I wanted to go to, which were pivotal because they're right off the highway and they're buggies, they're not online anymore. For some reason, I don't know why. They're down. The rumor I heard is maybe they're going to be replacing the hardware, but I could just be speculating. I'm not really sure. There is construction equipment around those sites now. It seems very quick, and I doubt that they will be up and running by the time we leave, and as of this day, the end of this week. So on, not end of this week, the beginning of next week, so next Monday. So a week from today. So whatever, but make sure you always check the day before, because it would really stink to have your plan and then you go there and it's not working for some reason. So yikes. And honestly, to add on to that, you could just check like when you're about to travel to your next charging stop, just make sure that no one's having any major issues there. So again, how do I use the plan once I've created it? I just go into the app, go to my plan, I click on the location, add it, throw it to my directions, and then I navigate there. I think for most people, if you just charge to 80%, you're going to be good to go. You'll always make it to your target destination. If I want to be a little bit more accurate and not have to charge as long, sometimes I will use the built-in nav just to see what it's predicting, or sometimes I'll even use a better route planner and see what a better route. I'll just navigate to the next station on a better route planner, and it'll show me the state of charge that I need to get there with whatever desired end state of charge. Again, if you don't want to do that, you want it to be simple, then just charge to 80% and you'll probably be fine as long as it's within your guessometer. But as you know, as an EV driver, sometimes a guessometer is either a little too conservative, or maybe it's it's not very accurate. So in the other way, where you're going to run out. So that would not be good. And again, you could just make your plan and then put that into your built-in navigation as well if you want to do that. But you do what works for you. Like I said, I've kind of found this strategy for me where I use the PlugShare and then maybe I pop it into a better route planner. That works for me, but do what you want to do. Okay, everyone, so that is pretty much all I have on how I plan trips. Now, the trip I showed you all today, we're not doing in one fell swoop. We're actually stopping in Savannah, gonna go get some dinner in Savannah. We love Savannah. And then go down to Kennedy Space Center the next day. But yeah, this is what I do. I'd love to hear down below, how do you like to plan? Maybe did anything I suggest change how you might plan in the future? I'd love to hear about that, because everybody has different opinions and ideas. And if you share them down below, maybe people don't love what I say, but they resonate with something you say, and that could help them out. So please do that. That would be really awesome. And then be on the lookout for my wife's video, where she'll show what she considers when she's planning for an EV road trip. Again, she likes for me to pick all the chargers. So she says, you pick the chargers, I'll find the places to go. And she'll kind of walk you through how she'll like pick a restaurant or something to do, or yada, yada, yada. So she's really good at that, and that's why I give that job to her. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to give a like, a subscribe. It really helps the channel. I know it seems like a silly thing, but every subscribe helps push this channel out to more people to help them. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Follow me on X. If you haven't already, follow my sister channel, EV Charging Site Reviews, where I review charging sites. Actually, on this road trip, I'm going to hit up probably like 7 or 8 new charging sites that I'm going to do reviews on and get them posted to help people out, so you know what to expect when you get there. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.